What's up?
What's up, Freezy?
What's up, Gatlin? Hey, so good to
Hey.
see Gatlin here in the fun zone. I'm Nordista Freeze. Um, an honor to have you, Gatlin, today after yesterday when your EP dropped, Sugarcoated.
Yeah.
Listening to it this morning. Huge
Aw.
congrats to you.
Thank you, sir. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, was there like promo for this? Because I just didn't know it was coming out, and now it's here, and I'm stoked.
There was maybe like a week of promo, so not a ton of
Yeah,
it.
you kind of dropped it on us then.
I was just like, boom,
She really
there it
did.
is. But I've been like releasing songs that are on it since like December, so it's been a little while.
Yes, that's true. Some of these singles have been coming out piece by piece. I love the jump right to it. I love the album cover. Because I was there when it was taken.
Yeah, you were.
hmm
It's
Unfortunately,
so
that's
fun.
unfortunately that's not my arm, but I didn't quite make the cut. But I uh I was
Who
there.
knows who Armin
I,
is?
I don't know either. I don't no, I'm not saying he's Armin. All I'm saying is that I was there. Can we say what restaurant we were at? If
Yeah,
someone
it's
doesn't know,
Whataburger. I mean, you can tell it's
I think
Whataburger,
you can tell
but
too. Yeah. I loved that moment you and well, let's see. It was during the summer you and Leah came down
yeah,
from to Birmingham.
we came and saw your show in Birmingham. That was
Yeah,
fun,
we
and
all
I'd
went to
never been to
Whataburger.
Whataburger. I'd never been. That was my first time.
That was your
So
first your
Freeze, you're an integral part of
wow.
my debut EP. It's because of your show that I got my EP cover. So thank you.
It's like a chicken tender.
Yeah, it's just
I
so cute.
remember I
And Lucas
remember
Etchison took that picture.
oh yeah, of course. Was that how it looked originally, or did you crop it to a square like that? It's
I
perfect.
cropped it.
You you look so good in this picture. I think it's
Aw,
like a really cool idea for an album cover. Just like
thank
being
you.
at a Whataburger because it's just like real. It's just like real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I done a few shoots for it and the photos were amazing, but it just like didn't really feel as like authentic,
hmm
and like relaxed. So I was just like, let me just like go through like photos of mine and then I had the full picture of that and I was like, what if I just like cropped it? And it like worked. So
I think it's cool. I think it's really, really cool. It shows a lot of personality right off the bat. Whereas, a good photo shoot could too, but we see a lot of good photo like, and this is a great picture. It's just, something about it actually just like catches your attention. You're like, who is this?
yeah.
What are they doing eating a piece of chicken at a
Why are they
what
eating chicken?
at a Whataburger? So this EP was this made? Well, I guess I should ask who all helped out with it. Like where did you record? And
Oh goodness. So this one, so I did it like song by song, which
cool.
was pretty stressful. It was, I'm, I loved it for the first EP because it like definitely I got to fully invest in each song. Um, but I started recording them in like November with talking to myself and I think about you all the time. And I did those with Tone Deaf.
Yeah, cool.
Um, and then I finished the last song I did was Being Alone, which I recorded in like July. So it was pretty
Hmm.
spread out. It was pretty spread out process.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Who else in the band? Is it just too many to name, or were there a certain few integral like band members?
Yeah, so my best friend Sean McHugh is also my guitar player, and he played on I think like three or four, um,
Cool. Sean's
and
awesome.
he is awesome. And then Aaron Croc's my drummer, and he played on three of them. Some of them we got like session musicians. This dude Aaron Steele played on two of the
Cool.
tracks. He's awesome.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun. So yeah, and then I had like five different producers on it, which is crazy.
Wow, that's a lot of people like
I know. It's
having
a lot of
opinions.
people. Yeah. Well, they each did a different track, so
Right, right, right.
but
Did you
yeah.
feel like that was? Do you feel like it was hard to make it all like come together cohesively for an EP, or were you just kind of like, I don't know, like with so many different producers and stuff? Is that how you like to create? Like, do you like to just keep it fresh with new people, or
I
is that
think
just how it turned out?
I wanted to try it that way because especially like I feel like I ride the line of like pop music because it's like indie and alternative but also kind of pop. And like lots of times with pop records like each track is like a different producer.
Right, that's true.
Yeah. So I wanted to try it out. I think definitely for my next one I'm gonna do the like one producer a week in a studio, bring my band, you know,
Ooh,
like the typical way. I feel like I'm definitely gonna do that. But for the first round, because of like budgeting and time, it just that's kind of how it worked, and I like loved working with all of those people. So
yeah.
it was a good time.
I think that's really fun. I personally like I get really caught up in that, but maybe I don't need to. Like I'm working on some songs with somebody right now, and I'm like, well, maybe
Heck
they
yeah.
should be their own EP. And then I'm like working on some songs with someone else. I'm like, I always think like they need to be separate, but maybe they can all just like
Yeah.
fit together. You know? Wow.
Yeah. Well, because it's you. Like they're all you. Like you are the common thread and like your voice like will shine through it. Like I feel like for my stuff it all sounds the same because it's my voice, like a lot of my ideas still in the track. So it like
Yeah.
is still cohesive.
Yeah. Right. Do you feel like I feel like ever since like high school, I've been like understanding and recontextualizing what it means to be an artist. Like I had a lot of really strict rules when I
Mm,
was younger that I thought had to be the case. Like I thought being an artist meant you like made an album every 3 years, and that album you wrote
yeah.
every single word, and you directed the band, and orchestrated every note. And there
Yeah.
was no room for like collaboration. There was no like I never thought that co-writing. Don't even think I'd heard of co-writing when I was
Mm.
18. I was just like, and just like being in Nashville, especially, I feel like,
Oh yeah.
and like just how you realize like there are people who like their whole life is being a songwriter or like
Hmm.
being a session player, which isn't to say that someone can't do all of it themselves for their album and shine through, but like there's just, I don't know. I feel like I've kind of deconstructed a lot of those ideas and realized there's different ways to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, not everyone can be Jacob Collier.
Yeah, right.
So it's like I definitely know my strengths and I know my weaknesses and I like have no problem delegating. Like I'm really not good at I can play the guitar, but I'm not like a great guitar player. So Sean, you here you go. Like because then it's cool because I feel like it also like free Nordista Freeze, like I feel like Sma and Grant and like Trevor like are Nordista Freeze too.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
because their voices like come in and they're like part of the band, and I feel like it's similar for me. Like Gatlin is starting to become like just as much Sean and his like creativity like as much as my own.
Yeah. Right. I
Yeah.
think that's really cool.
It also
So,
takes the pressure off of me. I'm like, it's not just me.
yeah, right. It does take the pressure off. And some of that pressure is just not maybe necessary. Like I think I get weighed down. Sometimes I carry so much weight. I'm just like all of a sudden I'm
Yeah.
just like, why did I set this standard on myself? Like,
Yeah, and these goals and
because there's
this
so many
timeline
ways.
and
There's so many ways to do it. And
yeah.
like I've been hanging out with And the Boys, which is like I don't know if you've heard them. They're a local band that are really cool.
I think
But
you were telling me about them the other day, actually.
yeah, well, I've been on a vacation. Well, I'm a big fan of their music, and I've been able to hang out with them, and just like being around some fresh people with fresh perspective is really cool. Like they just the way they write, it's just amazing how if you went to a thing like Freeze Fest and afterwards you interviewed every band, every local
Mm.
band, and asked about their process, you'd realize how massively different it is. So this is your second. Well, let's see. You have Sugarcoated EP, but then you have these singles down here.
Yeah, I've only ever done singles. So this
But
is
yeah, they
like
never were an
first
EP, I guess.
project. Yeah, it was going to be an EP, and then I ended up like hating the other songs. So I'm just like, just didn't do anything with them.
You
So
hated the ones you didn't release? Like you didn't
yeah,
release the ones you hate?
yeah, there's like two or three, there's two that I didn't release that would have made up the EP. But I just ended up, not that I mean, they're good songs for the time. They're just a completely different sound. They're
Yeah.
like very like folk Americana country vibe. And
Right.
as I was releasing them, I was really realizing like, oh, that's not me anymore. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that can make you like hate the song that you're going to put out. That isn't even
yeah,
really that it's like you realize the song isn't good. It's just like and also sometimes you think a song's not good or really good at the same time before you put it out. It can be a confusing world before music is released. You're like, am I lying to myself? Do I actually not just like this song at all? Or maybe this is my favorite song I've ever done. I get tripped up.
I feel like my own music, it's very like, I'm separated from it. Like, I'm like, I don't know if it's good or bad. It just is.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah, totally. Especially like, and if you start thinking too much about how people are going to think about it, you'll just go crazy because it's like,
Yeah.
you just have no idea if people are going to be like, that was a good idea. Or that was, silly that you did that.
That was horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. So it can be a little, it can be intimidating. I guess when I met you, you'd already put out some of these singles, I think, well, or at least when we
Mm-mm.
became
Well, we became like
close.
close.
When did we meet? Do you know?
I met you my freshman year at Belmont, at Ethos.
Oh my goodness. I do remember that. I remember sitting next to you.
I like
Oh,
came by myself and I was like, can I sit by you? And then I was like, oh, you're Freeze, because I had heard about you because I liked going to house shows and the DIY scene. And so,
yeah.
and then after that, we were just acquaintances. Then we
Hmm.
became close after I, yeah, had those thoughts.
Yeah, we have become close. I guess would it be through like Leah?
Yeah, through Leah,
And then
for
through
sure.
through like y'all coming to shows and then
Yeah.
me and I started coming out to some of your shows. I have a really fun memory of you playing with your band
Yeah.
at Exit In.
Mm-hmm.
Is
That
that
was
band
fun.
uh
Sadie Hawkins.
is that band still around at all? Like what are y'all up to?
Yeah, so it's those boys, Tristan Bushman and Daniel Etheridge, are like two of like my most favorite co-writers.
Cool.
We just like had a bunch of songs, and when we are like bored, we record them. So I think we're gonna record in the
Cool.
next few months because we just have a bunch of songs. It's more of like a fun thing. Like when we have extra time, like we'll play shows. Well, obviously now we can't play shows, but so it's like we all have our own artist projects.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we think of it as like like how Boy Genius, it's like,
It's like a super group.
yeah, like that, but a not so super group
I think it's
because
a super group.
we're not anything.
um
But
I remember listening to when that collection of songs dropped.
mm,
Listening to it, I think we were on tour and it was really, really good. And I remember your song. You have one song you wrote on that collection, maybe? Or two?
yeah, well, I have one song that I like. We each have like our own lead song,
Yes.
like, yeah, so that one.
Your song was my favorite.
Ah.
The whole thing is really good, but for real, I remember your song. I remember being like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah, it's
I was
about
really proud.
thinking you're in love, but you're really just lonely.
Thinking you're in love, but you've really never been in love. As Gatlin tells us on her opening track that just came out yesterday. That collection came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Sugarcoated.
Look
Okay,
at
so
you, Freezy.
I'm proud of you, and it really does sound really really good. You have endless potential, and it's awesome to get to witness it, and I really do mean that. I really really do mean that. Okay, so you'll have to refresh me if we've already talked about some of this because I'm missing a little bit of your backstory. Like I don't can you remind me like
Yeah.
where you grew up?
So I was born on 9/8/98. Remember?
Yes. Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
My birthday, September 8th, 1998. In Kissimmee, Florida, and then I grew up in Orlando, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my childhood was nutty. It was crazy. Florida's just like crazy. And then yeah, it's so weird. I grew up going to like Disney and Universal all the time, and the beach, and
You really
deer
did.
hunting, and
What?
swamps, and farms, and yeah, I like ride a motorcycle now because we would just like we were always on like ATVs and dirt bikes and barefoot, and yeah, it was just fun. It was a fun childhood. And
Wow.
in high school I was homeschooled for music, and then I came to Belmont, and
Homeschooled for music?
yeah, I just like wanted to like I had decided in high school like I want to do music, and so I did classes online and just would like do guitar lessons and piano lessons and voice lessons, and learned a little bit about production, and did like high school recording and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's
So was
crazy.
it, well, I guess so that means you must have already been doing it a little bit in middle school for you to know that you wanted to like take a big step in high school, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I was always in like choir and musical theater, and had been like playing piano since I was 8. But then it was like, yeah, it was
Cool.
my freshman year in high school that I started writing. And then I was like, oh, this is like all I want to do ever. So my parents were like, okay, cool. Like, let's take you out of school and you can do online school, and that's the
Wow.
end of it. I can't believe they did that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is one of this. I don't think I know anyone else who did that. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I'm like Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell, like their parents did that with them. I think probably a lot more intense, but I'm just like, that's sick. I feel like everyone should do that.
Yeah,
Everyone who's
right.
interested in music, at least.
Totally. I think it's, I mean, we can talk about like that's high school and then you got to Belmont and then you dropped out of Belmont too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you gave academics another shot and then you're like, actually, I think I want to go back to the music thing.
Well, I was studying music at Belmont. I was studying songwriting, and I was still like, yeah, classrooms are just like not it.
Yeah, especially after doing that in high school. I can't imagine. It must have just been like way too much structure and way too much
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it was
frivolousness.
yeah, just like the idea of like having to be, even though the classrooms a lot of time were like recording studios, or like,
Right.
it was just like great grades, and you have to write about this,
Totally.
like I just like didn't
Yeah,
I
no.
just didn't like it. So
Yeah, I mean, obviously I dropped out too. I think one thing
yeah, you did.
that I'm realizing yeah, that I'm realizing or that I've realized when I was dropping out was I've talked I was talking to somebody about this last night really that I mean dropping out I thought that it was going to be something that I was going to like need to do because there's going to be this big open door that I was going to walk through and
Yeah,
then realizing that it was actually just that I needed to like
put
and,
100% into it.
yes. And the other
Yeah,
side of it is that I thought that I would be like, oh, like college is a drag. Like I'm not learning anything. Reality is I was learning some things.
yeah.
Like, and if I had stayed, I would have learned more um about those things, especially like production. But it was more so just like,
Like,
how
let
do I
me
want to spend my time?
actually do
Yeah.
this. Yeah, for sure. How long did you go? How long were you at? Let's go.
I went until February of my junior year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I
That's
went for,
crazy.
how long did you go?
I did half.
Half a year?
No, like half of college, like
Okay,
2
cool.
years.
That's interesting because I have when I tell people like I think the first 2 years were really good for me, and
Yeah.
then the first half of junior year, It was cool because I met Devin Badgett and
Mm.
and got to,
Vanisdale's so
you know,
freaking cool.
yeah, Vanisdale and all of
So freaking
Vanisdale,
cool.
like so cool. But I think it was beginning to be like, okay,
Yeah.
it almost like I kind of just wished at school. I don't know if it was this way for you at Belmont, but it was like if there had been no gen eds, I could have finished in like 2 to 2.5
Yeah.
years, and I would have like loved my experience and been really healthy and been like, that was great, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, but also, strangely enough, at Belmont, the thing that sticks with me the most is a gen ed I had taken
Hmm.
then led me to like make my minor religion in the arts. And then those were my favorite classes.
Cool.
Like my
Wow.
class, which is so interesting. Like
Yeah.
that the music classes weren't my favorite. I feel like it was just like a nice break because my whole life was music. And then I was like learning about Christian ethics and like that was like
Wow.
my favorite thing, you know, like part of Belmont. So
I think I thought you were a worship minister when I met you.
really.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever led worship?
Yeah, no, I've gone through so many different phases. I wanted to be a country artist, and then there was probably like 5 years where I was like, I'm gonna be a part of Bethel or Hillsong,
Yeah.
or like I
You
want to be
could
a
if you
worship
wanted to.
leader.
You'd be good at that.
Aw, thank you. I feel like I don't have a good enough voice for that. I feel like like worship leaders, their voices are just like
Yeah.
like they are just touched by God. And I'm just like, I just don't have a good enough voice for
Well,
that.
I disagree, but I do know what you're talking about, and it is almost like what we were talking about with Nashville songwriters, and it's like Nashville worship ministers are like their own breed.
It's just crazy. I'm like, how can you like I went to the belonging like my freshman and every vocalist, I was just like,
Dude,
how?
remember okay, I was working at Trader Joe's and I remember I had my break and I went home to make some food and then y'all were like 2 doors down, you and Leah were like at a worship night for like some sort of
Yes.
I think it was like a girls
It
worship
was
night.
for so Leah is the what was I guess she graduated was the president of Delight, and then
Yes, Delight.
Lipscomb has a male ministry called like Bud, and they had like a worship night,
Bud
and
Light.
then yeah, Bud Delight, and yeah, and then you came, and the singers I think it was Elizabeth Gaddis. I don't know.
Oh my, yeah,
She's
she was insane.
she's so good.
I
She's
remember at
so
one
good.
point the like projector like with all the words like broke and then she just like started riffing or maybe I made this up but I just remember like the words were like glitching out and she was just like, oh yeah, and I was just like just like what's happening. How do they do these runs?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And that's
It's
coming, and
ridiculous.
I say that like my best friend S. Grant Parker isn't a worship minister who can do amazing runs and
Yeah,
just
no.
continuously
But
blows
again,
me away.
he like he can do everything. Like
Yeah.
he can play the guitar beautifully. He can play the drums. He can sing anything. He has like perfect pitch. I'm like, what is it about? What is it about you worship leaders that you're just so freaking awesome? So
Yeah, right. I think that I could see it as I think I get mad at myself. Like I think it's a big disadvantage for me that I don't think I could like lead like I don't think I could lead worship. I don't because I get like bored or like there's no like I don't know like it
it's
doesn't
very repetitive, for sure.
yeah, which like isn't to say that other people I'm not dissing on people who can do it. Like I actually wish that I could, but like I feel like oftentimes I can't stay in the moment long enough to like
Mm.
guide people through like a spiritual
Yeah, I
endeavor.
definitely think
You know what I mean?
it's a spiritual gift, like
Yeah.
for sure. And some people just are super called to it. And I was in high school, and it was awesome. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely you have to be. I feel like called to it because it's so just like special. But
Yeah, right. So did country music come after that? Was that the next thing?
country was before.
Oh, so country was like early high school?
Yeah, I have some pretty rough pictures.
Oh, no way, like wearing like a cowboy hat or something?
Like just like the like white flowy dress with the
with
cowboy
the cowboy
boots,
boots. Yeah.
with the truck, with
Oh, no
like
way.
the blue guitar. Yeah.
Man, I want to see those so bad.
It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
Hmm.
But
Well, I mean, it's interesting because those two things are very popular in Nashville, but then you came to
mm,
Nashville and now you make indie music, which is popular
yes.
too, but like that's more of like a sub thing. Like Christian
Yeah.
and country are like here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the hub for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think just like later in high school, I just my my in when I was in high school, my friends were at the college in Orlando, and they, it was a liberal arts school, and like Rollins College, and they were just like listening to like deep dark indie bands, and so that's just what I started listening to. So then
Yeah.
I guess that's like what you make, and then I started listening to like old rock and old folk a lot, and so then I came to Belmont and I got into my like folk singer songwriter phase, and then I went like Americana rock phase, and
Yeah.
now I've landed at this alternative indie pop rock.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something
I
like
don't know.
that.
Something.
Whatever it is. Well,
Whatever it
I
is.
do feel like I like can see your roots like in your music. Like even if you make pop music that's just a drum machine and like a synth, like I feel like you do carry this like kind of like legacy mentality with you. Like I feel like
Mm.
you just like have this like classic uh thing that you carry. I don't
Oh,
quite know how
thank
to
you.
word it, but like I just something in the way that you also just like I feel like when I met you, you already carried an immense knowledge of music and of music business too, which like you're always still educating me on. You're always I don't quite understand how you
That's all just Jeanette. That's
is that
not me.
Jeanette?
That's Jeanette.
Well, it's pretty. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty impressive, and I feel like
Thank you.
I don't know. A lot of that I like somehow miss out on, even though I don't know. Like I just
You're
don't.
selling yourself short.
No,
You,
I genuinely just don't understand. Like we've had so many conversations where you've been like, "This is what a manager does," or you're like, "Are your songs like whatever it's called? Like, are you with like
oh,
ASCAP or whatever?"
PRO.
And I'm just like,
Well, because you
no.
play so many shows and you would make so much money from that.
That does sound nice. I just don't quite understand how to do it. I don't, which is weird
Well, I'll
because
sit down with you after this and we'll do that.
I will book a tour. Like I will stay up all night booking, but for some reason with some like PROs, I just like can't bring myself to understand how to do it. Like I don't even begin. I'm just like, whoa.
Well, each show you could make $4 a song. So
Now we're talking. I didn't realize the stakes were so high.
yeah, Freeze.
Wow.
I
That could
will
pay for
set
my
you up.
dinner.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So
I
just
mean, pay for my dinner. That
because
could pay for dessert too.
songwriters gotta eat. So
Yeah.
the PRO system is all like paying songwriters. So.
Where does that money come from? That's crazy. What? This is great news.
I don't really understand that part. But I get a quarterly check in the mail, so
wow, that's
it's still
cool.
not a lot of money, but it's something.
If you play every night though, I guess it would add up.
Yeah.
I play about I mean, do the math.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're also I wanted to point out that behind you, I just think your room is so beautiful.
Oh,
You have such great natural lighting. That just looks like such a great place to write a song.
I do. I write. That's where I wrote "Grown." Right. I was sitting right.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I guess I was on the floor. I was there, and then I was on the floor. I told you I tend to write on the floor. So.
Yeah, that's it. Do you write with like a Google Doc or do you write with like a pen and paper?
I tend
Notes
to
app?
just like jot, on my phone, just like on the notes app. I'm just
Cool.
like, no, or I'll just like voice memo, and like ramble words, and then sometimes whatever I'm mumbling ends up being words, like my subconscious.
Oh yeah. Oh dude,
So,
that's how I write too. For real.
yeah.
That's I read that about have you read Jeff Tweedy's book or like read about how Wilco, how he writes?
Does he do that?
Yeah, he's like super big on it. He talks about it a lot. He's like, yeah, so I just set it down, I just kind of mumble whatever feels right. And then he's like, a lot of times he's like, whatever is in my subconscious, like
Yeah.
He's
it
like,
is what's best.
it at least like gets you where you need to be to like know what the song's about. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I know what this song's about now, which is crazy, but
Yeah.
it's real. Like
And
you
even
don't
like
even know.
what words sound best in like the melody, like if like an A or like an I, like,
Mhm.
oh, that this sounds, I don't know. I feel like
Totally.
whatever I like keep coming back to is like, oh, this is what this is supposed to be. So
Yeah, right. Because like that is something that I didn't realize when I was until I met Zach. Like thinking about vowels, like it's not just the
yeah,
words, but it's like it's not just a poem. It's like if it you'd rather sing the word you than like a word that ends with like a T or something. It's like
or a back.
yeah. It and Tweety says it's also important because he says it helps remove your ego a little bit because if you just start with like you're like, I want to write a song about this. He says you're going to make yourself look too sexy. And he says if you just mumble whatever feels right, sometimes you're
Yeah,
going to be willing to like be a little bit more personal in the mumble, a little bit more
yeah,
personal with just like whatever is just literally just coming out of you than like
yeah.
starting with like, I'm going to write a love song about how cool I am. I don't know. That's a
I
little
love that.
reductive, but I really do think like if I do just write a song based off what I want to write it about, it probably
It's
wouldn't write as
probably not
interesting
going to be
songs.
as authentic either. And yeah, I've been working with this dude Nick Lobel. I always say Lobel. It's Lobel.
Cool.
Um, and he does that with me. Like will like play something on the guitar, or like he'll make a track, and then he'll like stick me in the corner for like 20 minutes and just be like put it on loop, and he'll be just do whatever. And it's like the most uncomfortable thing ever, especially like when someone else is in the room.
Yeah.
But like that's how we always like start, is he'll just be like, all right, go mumble.
Wow, that's
I
cool.
know.
Do
It's
is
yeah.
do your songs start on acoustic guitar or electric guitar normally?
Um when I'm writing by myself or with Nick, it's normally acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, the co-writing stuff, like normally there's a track guy in there and he makes it
Oh yeah, I've never
simply,
done that kind
so
of stuff. Seems cool. I've seen that in
crazy.
like Rocky's like Instagram stories. I'm like, well, what is
Yeah,
this?
Rocky.
There's like a producer as part of the co-write. It's like the third
Yeah,
co-writer, and they're just like
yeah.
making beats and
They just
stuff.
are making the track. I mean, sometimes the producers will like help with lyrics and melody, but typically
Yeah,
it's just like they're making a track and it is songwriting. So it's crazy. It's
I think that one
craziness.
it is crazy. One thing
Craziness.
that I
I'm just
wish that
like
I had
letting
like
this get going.
known more with like songwriting too that like Z also taught me is how important like rhythm and tempo are. Like if you have a nice beat, which is I think why it's good to have somebody who's like making tracks because like every song I write when it's just an acoustic guitar
Is
are
it the same
so
tempo?
similar. Yeah, same
Yeah.
strumming pattern. But then if somebody's just like, what if we started with this beat? Boom, I'm like, oh, I'm like, let's write this
Yeah.
song.
Well, I feel like I come up with my best melodies when there's like a track person, because it just like it takes away me having to worry about like, oh, what's the tempo going to be? Oh, I'm here, I'm playing, like I'm literally
Mm-hmm.
just thinking about, and it like opens up, yeah, it gets me out of like my comfort zone of like this is the same strum pattern at the same
Right.
tempo. Yeah.
Well, because like you
So
don't your songs.
you should start writing with track guys.
Yeah, I actually that would be sick. I guess I kind of did with this. Me and the boys are putting out a song in 2 weeks, and it like a collab song,
Yeah.
and it did kind of like I showed him a guitar. I had like half of a chorus, and then we like started from there, and it was like
Heck yeah.
it really was just so fun. Yeah, it like changed the game. So
That's
it's cool to be co-writing a little bit more. Like I said, I was kind of like against like if you told me 2 years ago I was gonna put out a song with another artist, I would have been like that is an infringement on my artistic like you know what I mean. Like I just need to make albums, which I did. I
yeah.
made like Cosmic House. It's just like album, like
Yeah.
go into the studio, kickstart, bunch of money, which is like still cool, but like I just like didn't realize that I could just like make a song and kind of
Yeah.
like go off my intuition a little bit more and just what feels fresh and what feels right.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like that's the way to, because I just feel like things are changing so much. There
Mm-hmm.
should just be no rules. There are no rules.
There are no rules.
There are no rules. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's what makes the like, the like big, like the next person who does something new and fresh and like a different way. And like breaks all the rules. Is like
Yeah.
what makes like a household name, like a Led Zeppelin or like a, you know what
That's
I mean?
true. Yeah, I think so too.
Because if you copy them, then like if you do the, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I feel like you could either be an incredibly successful just like songwriter and like not even be an artist if you wanted to, but I also feel like you could just like tour your whole life and be incredibly successful at it. You're a great performer, a great songwriter, and like, but I feel like you are specifically great at both. Is there one that you enjoy more than the other, or do you just love the whole process, the whole cycle of making a song and performing it?
I love the cycle. I really do.
Cool,
I
yeah,
feel
me
like I
too.
like performing better, more,
Hmm.
because like I've literally done that my whole life.
You have?
Yes, yeah. Like I was like a little commercial baby. I was like in commercials when I was little, and then I did like
What?
show choir, and I did, you know, like modeling, and you know, so it's just like I've always been like
Modeling.
wanting to be on just like baby modeling, like when I was like a
Were you
little
like one?
kid,
You were like?
like for commercial like stuff. I don't know.
Whoa.
But I just like always wanted to perform, and
Yeah,
um,
right. That I didn't know that about you.
mhm.
Wow. Wait, is any of this on YouTube? I want to see like 90s commercials
I
of Lil
haven't
Gat.
found. We haven't found it. I think my
Oh.
mom has it on DVD somewhere. But
Okay, I guess I gotta go to Orlando. Is
yeah,
that where she is?
yeah, she's in Orlando. Remember, whenever you play, you're allowed to stay there. So,
Oh, that's right. Didn't I hit you up? I did that thing where I'm like, it's like midnight and I'm like, can I stay with your family?
and I was like, "There's sleep freeze." You
Mhm.
could have let me know 5 hours ago, and it would have been fine. But
Okay,
there's sleep.
that one, just in my defense, we were staying in Savannah and we were going, I think, to Orlando the next night or something, and we just like got, well, I don't want to out this person, but we had to go. We just had to go. So it was like we were literally all about to hit the pillow, and somebody was just like, we should leave, and we're like, yep, we're out, and then we just got in our car and drove.
Why'd you have to leave?
Um,
Was it
we
scary?
no, it was fleas.
Ooh.
Yeah, which I've never even seen fleas. I don't know, but someone in my band was just like, there are fleas on this couch, and then I was like, well, that's fair. Like they're not gonna make you stay. And also, I was already itching to leave because I always after the show I want to drive to the next city. I'm always like, okay. It's like 1 in the morning,
Wow.
and I'm like, okay, I like just ate some food or something. I just feel great, and I'm on this like post
You're
show high. And I'm
crazy.
like, okay, we could
You're
drive
some
from
crazy
1 to
freak.
5 a.m. and get to Atlanta, and then we can just sleep until noon, and it'll be fun because we'll drive all night and drink Red Bull and like, you know what I mean?
When touring happens again, can we go on the road together? I feel like it'd be so fun.
That would be so fun. I'm so upset that I didn't get to be a part of the You and Kelsey tour.
I know.
I could have
Didn't
just been
we invite?
utilitarian, like aux percussion vocal guy.
We didn't we ask you
I think we were on tour, right? Because Sma couldn't come either. I think
to?
we might have
No,
been
you
doing
guys.
some.
No, you guys weren't home because we asked both of you, and you guys both were like, "Nah."
That doesn't sound like me, but maybe. Maybe I was just like preparing for something. I don't know.
Maybe you were playing shows. I don't know.
I don't
Maybe.
know. Yeah.
Who knows?
I would love to play some shows. I would love to be in
That'd be
your
so
band too. I would just
fun.
love to like I could just I always want to be I want to be the guy who's like wearing shades and is like
The hype man.
playing tambourine and singing.
Yeah,
I
that'd be so
actually
fun.
can. I can sing harmony like I can learn a part. Like I did choir all through school and stuff. So,
Yeah.
put me in, coach.
Next show, whenever that freaking happens.
And I'll drive all night. I can drive too.
Look at that.
Yeah, whenever
Yeah,
that
you
show
always
happens.
drive the van, I feel like.
Oh, I love it. You're the one who like has kind of put me in my place with this virus though. You were like I remember when it first happened, I was like, yeah, we canceled our tour, but we've got our next tour coming in May. And you were like, I canceled my Mercy Lounge show for June or July or whatever. And I was like,
And then we rescheduled
dang.
for October, and then I can't, yeah. I guess I did. I'm sorry.
No,
Well,
it's
I
all good.
remember you guys were still on the road when it was all happening, and I texted you guys, and I was like, are you guys coming back? I'm really worried about you.
It's hard to remember what it was like then because
Yeah.
now it seems like we were just so ignorant. But it was like at that time it
But
wasn't.
everyone thought we were gonna be like back online in June, you know?
Yeah, and it wasn't even everywhere. Like I remember we mid-tour, we stopped to go to see Future Crew play at the High Watt. And at that point, the virus was in the US, but that night was when like someone at Vanderbilt had the virus or something. And everyone was like still at the show, but it was like tense. People were just kind of like, am I going to get to see y'all tomorrow? And then when we went back on tour, we just started hearing crazy stuff. Like I would get a call from somebody, they'd be like, my dad is like friends with this guy who's like knows someone on Trump's team, and like they're gonna shut down the roads. So like we literally after a show one night we just kind of flipped the switch. Like we were like, yeah, we'll just power through. It's only gonna be 2 weeks. Like, and all of a sudden we were like, let's drive home right now. There's it was hard.
Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah, it was really scary. When do you have? Has the industry told you when we're gonna get to tour again?
Has the industry told me?
Ask
Mr. Ben Rector, I think put somewhere like not till 2022, but that's like bigger venues.
That's Ben Rector.
It's been Mr. Ben Rector. I think he put it on his social media or told Jordan.
Do you know Ben Rector? How cool.
He knows. He's like Jordy's friend, and Jordy is my brother. So I don't know Ben, but
and Paul McCartney has been Rector's friend. So
pretty much, I'm best friends with Paul McCartney.
I don't know if that's true. I just in Nashville, I think that you can. I think that we should all try to see how we can be connected to Paul McCartney. That should be how you have fun at parties.
That how many degrees away are you from Paul McCartney?
Yeah. I did think that I knew that you had clout from the moment I met you because your Instagram is just Gatlin. The biggest flex, for real. I'm serious.
Well,
like that is so cool.
Not a lot of people have that name, so it wasn't that hard. Also, I've told you this story, haven't I?
You vaguely told me, but you never told me all the details.
Okay. I think I was in like sophomore year of high school, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go by Gatlin for my music stuff. So I was like, let's see if the Instagram handle is available. It wasn't, but it hadn't been used for like 2-3 years. So I was like, let me see if I can get into the account. And like first try, logged me straight in.
What do you mean?
I like tried to guess the password.
Yeah, what was the password?
The password was Gatlin. Like the username was Gatlin.
No.
The password was Gatlin.
No.
So I was like, bro, you did this to yourself.
And you just stole it?
Well, okay, so then I went in and I changed his username. So then Gatlin became available. So then I changed my Instagram to Gatlin.
What'd you change this to? Just like Gatlin 1?
Okay, this is where it got bad. I just changed it to like just gibberish. I should have done like, I just like didn't want him to like find it again and like realize that like, Did
he contact you?
I need to stop talking about this because like more and more people are learning this story.
I think one, you have a great line of logic that is he did it to himself. I think that's a good one to like promote if you ever are, in court.
And it was an act like he hadn't posted in like 3 years.
Yeah.
Like.
I wish that you knew the name of the account. I'd love to see if he's posted since.
I mean, Instagram has gone through and like, deleted like inactive accounts. So it's probably... I don't feel that bad.
If he hadn't posted in 3 years, he probably wasn't attached to it.
Yeah, I didn't even care. It's fine. Yeah.
I mean, I have Nordista Freeze. That one was really hard to get. I had to do a similar thing. I had to,
Wait, really?
No.
Oh, I was like, excuse me?
I'm always afraid that one day if I get like famous, I'm going to have to someone's going to beat me to it. Like when I get on TikTok to sign up, I'm like, is someone going to like just troll me and already, have it? But I've never had that happen yet.
Well, it's been difficult because then like I don't have Gatlin on any of my other social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it should be the same across the board, but
yeah,
I guess I should like message the other people, but
yeah, I mean, well, what else do you use? What else do you use to promote music? I use Instagram mainly, like Instagram
mainly, Facebook, kind of. It's more, I mean, my demographic is like definitely like caps mainly at like 32. So I feel like it's mainly Instagram. TikTok is starting to be necessary.
You're on TikTok?
Yeah, I'm trying.
What?
I mean,
Let's do this.
Jeanette is my manager. So Jeanette's job at Atlantic is like getting all the artists on TikTok. So you better believe I get like 2 text messages a day being like, "Did make a TikTok today?"
Gatlin Music.
Yeah.
Dude, you've already got over 100 followers.
It's rough. I don't understand it quite yet. I'm trying, Freeze. It's not good. Please don't look at that.
I just followed you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I actually me and Amy Pearl, who was on the show a couple episodes ago, we talked a lot this summer about like TikTok, and I don't know, I kind of was like, I realized personally that I was not on it because of reasons that were ridiculous. So that's why I got on. Like I was like,
yeah,
it's like I'm always trying to let go of the things that I think I'm holding on to for no reason. And like not being on TikTok, I was like, TikTok's dumb. And then it's just like, why is TikTok dumb, but I'm on Snapchat and Instagram, like as if I'm like some sort of like classy dude who like, I'm like, oh, TikTok
like
is for kids.
indeed.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
it's actually really hilarious and I love watching them. I just like haven't figured out how to make them yet. If that
totally.
Like I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't know what people like, but
yeah,
I like watching them.
Totally. And it's also like, there's one thing to like be on a platform, and there's another thing to like try to like become famous on that platform. Like, I think starting in high school, I started realizing like I had this one band we were playing with, and I was like, oh, they're famous on YouTube. Then I remember me and Sma being like, should we try to be famous on YouTube? Should we be doing like One Direction covers? You know what I mean? Because you see that success and you're like, oh, I guess that's how you do it. But then getting a little bit older and being like, no, literally every platform, you've got the Instagram artists and you've got YouTube people, like TikTok people. It's like, there's a difference between like trying to like go viral on that and also just like being an artist who is like yourself, on these things.
Being yourself on them. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like how can I be myself on TikTok and like still make TikTok content. But I have friends who broke from TikTok. Like they're number 30 on the pop charts right now.
Wow. Oh, is it one of y'all's friends who just makes these crazy like vocal runs and stuff?
Oh, that's Andrew Tufano. Who actually just texted me.
Wow. And Andrew does really cool stuff. Is he watching the live stream? He's like, I can't believe you just said that.
He said that. No, I told him he looks like this guy from, do you know the show Normal People on Hulu?
I think I've heard of it. I've never seen it, no.
I keep blowing up his phone, sending him pictures of that guy because I think he looks like him and he finds that offensive for some reason.
Oh.
So he's upset at me right now. But it's fine. It's fine. But it's fine. No, he like hopped on TikTok super early. But no, it's these girls, Avenue Beat. And they have the song Fuck 2020.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, and they like made this awesome video on TikTok and it has like 20 million views on TikTok. And like, now they have like 100,000 followers on Instagram. Wow. They have like over 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. They're number 30 on the pop charts. Like, and it's all because of this TikTok video.
That's really cool.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, that is really cool. I think one thing I realized, I just posted too, like yesterday, and I realized that TikTok really wants you to get a little bit of exposure, especially when you're new on the app. Like they put you in a lot of people's algorithms, where I'm having like new people like my stuff and just comment on my stuff more than like on Instagram and stuff where someone has to be following you. TikTok just like really encourages everyone to get a little piece of the pie. And so
it's really possible to like go viral.
Yes, totally.
On just like one video, which
but
is
I think it's
really cool.
I think it's harder to like sustainably be viral, but it's easier to like taste it, which I think is one thing that makes it appealing. And for me, that makes it appealing because then I realized I can make things on here that people will see, and then I can like push them towards like my Instagram or like my music.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like trying to just become viral, but that I could like, help gain fans. Like what you just said, like gain Instagram, like just being a little bit of everywhere and just like, I don't know.
Well, I've noticed like from TikTok, I've gained like maybe like 10 just like really like invested like fans who like have then gone to my Instagram and they like comment on everything and like were on my live stream yesterday and just like I like already
What?
know all of their names and it's just from like they just like got really invested on
Gatlin,
TikTok.
that's so
And
cool.
yeah, well it's I feel like it's just like because the algorithm on TikTok is so good, it's
Hmm.
like feeding my stuff to people who like specifically like really would like what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah, right.
Which is really cool. I think it's
Are
it's
you are you posting like motorcycle videos and stuff too? Because I feel like that's a part of your brand.
I guess I I feel like maybe I should. I don't know. I feel like I don't make a lot of like actual content on my motorcycle because
But that's so. I mean, that's such a
I
like
know.
cool thing, and you're literally wearing a
Yeah,
Harley Davidson shirt. Like I don't know
I guess I
anyone else who
am.
drive.
Yeah.
I know maybe 2 or 3 people in Nashville who ride motorcycles.
My roommate does, Hannah Hall.
Yeah,
She is building a motorcycle right now, which
that's
is
right. She borrowed my minivan to go buy it.
yeah, she did. It's I'm so excited to like ride with her. It's yeah, I feel like I should post more about it because it's just
Wow.
like it's
Yeah.
my like freedom thing. Like I just feel like it's almost like a meditation thing for me,
Hmm.
which is like I just love it.
It's just really cool that you do it, and it's just like when you get to know a little bit more about who Gatlin is, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's also just like special. Like
Oh, thanks.
it's just a. I can't even imagine if I was going down the road and I saw you and Hannah Hall on motorcycles. I would just think that is just the coolest. I cannot believe I'm friends with
it's
these people.
it's fun and it's a really like cool community too. Like, you know, you just like make friends with other people who have bikes and, you know, it's just like a bonding thing and you go on rides and I don't know. It feels like a family, which is cool.
You know what I just realized right now
What?
is that you should have a like reality TV show, just like just like Gatlin's World. Like people would just love to just see the whole thing. Like I just want to watch Gatlin like ride her motorcycle and like try out a new restaurant in town, and then like
I feel like I spend
perform a
way too
song.
much time in my room being sad. So it wouldn't be very interesting.
Whatever. Well, that whatever. Maybe I don't think that's true. Well, I would love that at least. I'd love to
I
watch a
feel like
day in the
you
life.
need a reality TV show, Freeze. Your life is like just so phenomenal, just
Thank
phenomenally
you.
extraordinary.
I do
So
feel like I get to ride the wave. Like there are a lot of I don't know, just like being in Nashville and
mm,
it's similar. I mean, we have similar lives. Like in the sense of like being in Nashville and being a musician, you get a lot of just like opportunities that when you think about the future, you think about you carving out your destiny or being like, I'm going to like make these songs and go on these tours. But
yeah,
like a lot of Nashville is you writing a wave that's already happening too. Cause like you'll get invited to something and then you'll be like,
yeah,
wow. And you'll meet these people and see this happening. And it's just like, I don't know, being in this city, we shape the city, but the city also shapes us if you let it
yeah,
in a healthy way, I think, like a way where I feel like I'm constantly learning and constantly like having opportunities to experience things that I never thought I'd get to experience.
yeah. It's a really. I feel like in the beginning of quarantine, up until like a month ago, I was really like, I need to get out of Nashville. I need, but then about a month ago, I was just like, man, I would never find anything quite like this city. It's so
Oh
special.
wow.
You
Yeah.
know, it's so, so special.
Where would
And
you move to?
I was thinking about LA, at least
LA.
just
She
for a
really just
little
said
bit.
LA. She really just said that.
For a little bit. It's just big, I sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like Nashville is too small.
Of course you would move
Uh,
to LA. That would be like I would just you would succeed. Like it was just
no, I
you're one of
wouldn't.
those cool people who could just move to LA.
I would be such a little fish. I'd be a baby, baby, baby fish in a big old LA.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, we're all kind of little fish in Nashville, but then you kind of figured. I mean, I know LA's way bigger, but like sometimes being a little fish, I don't know. It's better than being the biggest fish. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. I am a little fish here, but I feel like I'm with a bunch of other little fish who are really nice.
Yeah, and they're all like swimming together.
Yeah, and we're all like helping each other grow into bigger fish
Yeah, we
together.
really are.
Yeah,
It's really special. I'm so glad that you decided to move to Nashville.
me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
to go to school, even just to drop out after a little bit, and just stay here.
Dude, I was thinking, do you remember when I showed you and Small talking to myself when it was a demo?
Oh, were we at Sma's house? Where were we?
His parents'
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
And I showed you, and it was like, I thought you guys hated it, and maybe you did because it sounds a lot different now. But I remember being so nervous showing you
Ugh.
guys, and you guys were the first people I think I
Did we not
showed.
react well?
No, you didn't.
Sorry. I'm sure I loved it. I don't know why I didn't. What did I do? Was I just
Like,
like,
you guys
cool?
were like, "Oh, cool," and I was like, and I like prefaced it with like, "I'm really nervous because it like kind of sounds a little pop, and I don't know, and blah blah blah." And then you guys were both just like, "Oh, cool," and I was like,
Dang, why did I do that? That sounds so goofy.
"Sorry."
I'll have
That
to
was
think
also
long and hard
probably
about that.
just my insecurity.
Yeah. I think I've like, my best guess at why I would have been like that would have been because I just thought that you so already like were successfully just like doing great. And like, I think when I heard it, I was just like, yeah, Gat strikes again. Like this rules. Like, I think I was just like,
And
yep,
little
like,
did you know, I was just a big ball of
yeah.
I hate my music.
It doesn't surprise me when you get big opportunities, like, and so maybe I need to do a better job affirming you. But it's just kind of like if you were like, oh yeah, I'm playing at Bonnaroo, I'd be like, wow, that's awesome. That makes sense. Like, that's cool. I wouldn't be like, oh, I can't believe it. I'd be like, yep, that it was only a matter
Aw.
of time.
Oh,
So
dude,
that's my
I
best
feel
guess,
the
but
same
I don't
about
know.
you.
Thank you.
I feel
I
the same.
honestly, that specific example, playing Bonnaroo, is like a life dream. You know what I
It's
mean?
coming, Freeze.
I hope
We
so. I would
all
love
know
to
it
just rock
is.
that stage and just like throw up on stage, at Bonnaroo, just like, you know what I mean? Just like do something just so stupid that people all week are just like, dude, we just saw this guy from Nashville and he just passed out on stage and they had to bring
I
an
feel like
ambulance.
I feel like okay. I don't think Bonner is probably gonna happen next year, but the
Hmm.
year after that, you're gonna be there for sure.
Let's manifest it.
For sure. And I'm gonna be there too. And Bristol's gonna be there. And Fantasdale's gonna be there. And
That would be insane.
everybody's gonna be there.
Yeah, that would be absolutely nuts. And I do think that all of those people and more could be there.
Yeah.
Are you I guess I do kind of want to know what's next for you. I think that's something we haven't talked about yet.
What's
I mean,
next?
do you have like any plans for the rest of 2020, just like new music, or obviously no tours, but
Yeah.
anything else?
I'm recording in September again, the second EP.
Whoa, cool. Already jumping right back in. That's like weeks away.
Yeah. Yeah, like late September, but
Cool.
yep, I'm doing that, and then that's kind of it. That's all I've
Yeah.
got planned. I've just been like writing and recording. I feel like that's really all we can do now is just write, record content. I live with my photographer now, and
Oh yeah, right. That's cool.
yeah, so we're just gonna like freaking. We have an extra room right now, so I'm just gonna like make video content, and we're gonna make cool creative things. I don't know. I just feel like it's a time of like being home and getting to like experiment and um make weird shit. I feel like that's just going to be like the rest of my year. It's just making weird cool art.
Yeah.
Um which is pretty exciting.
Wow. Yeah.
Um
That is really exciting.
yeah. So that's kind of it.
That's cool.
Jeanette's trying to get me on TikTok, and that's my 2020.
I will say, I also just want to add here, Jeanette is awesome. I love Jeanette, and if we
She
didn't
really
give
enjoyed
her a shout out,
talking to you the other day. She was
I
like,
enjoyed talking to her.
she was like, I was so excited that Freeze like wanted to talk to me because she was anxious, like because she didn't know a lot of people there, and she was like, I
Oh,
just love Freeze and blah blah blah. Jeanette, I feel like people is my manager slash best friend, and that's also cool. I've noticed, like, I'm like, Sean is my best friend and he's my guitar player, and Aaron's like becoming my best friend and he's my drummer, and Jeanette's my best friend and she's my manager, and it's just like cool that is how it worked out.
It's cool to get to chase these big, just like wild dreams with like your friends, with your best friends.
Yeah.
Because we're all here. We all, whether we were born here or moved here, we're all here in Nashville. Most of us in our group were like out of college. And it's just like, this is a time when you could either be like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I'm going to get a job. Or you can be like, no, let's like double down and like go 100 miles per hour. Just like do the best work I can do. And because it will work, like there's no other option. And getting to do that with your friends makes it so special.
Yeah, and it makes it fun and like less pressure.
Yeah.
I feel like, and yeah, I'm just like always. I feel like I'm the most insecure right now, and I just like my best friends get to be like, I love what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like stop.
Yeah.
So.
That's so important. It's so important to have people who can be there to help affirm you.
Yeah.
Being an artist, even if or wherever you are, you can post an Instagram and make people comment on your post and tell you you're awesome, but that can make you feel good for like lunch, but it can't make you feel good for your whole life. And having like actual homies who are there for the ups and downs, and when you're like questioning it all, people like Sean, like Jeanette, who are just like so sweet, like how special,
Yeah, no, it's the best. And like even you and your crew, like I like love you guys so much, and like,
we love you too. We really do. Me, Sama, Grant, we love you so much, and etc. Everyone does, So, thanks for coming on here. I would love it if you would come back on sometime, maybe when you put out your next song, or maybe this fall, if after you've recorded some of the songs and you got something else coming up that we can plug. We'll bring you back on and talk about it. That'd be cool.
I love that you're doing this. I love Freeze's Fun Zone. I've watched them all, so.
Thank you. No way. Well, that's cool. That means a lot. It's been really healthy for me. I've missed so many people, and without touring, I don't know. I'm doing well in some ways. In other ways, I'm hurting, and this has been really healing for me, and just been cool to really like get down to it and get to like even just talking to you like about stuff that I just don't even know. And like, it's cool to learn more about you and your story. And, if in turn some new people can hear your music, then that's a win. Well, thank you for being a part of this.
Thanks.
I love you.
I love you.
Oh, wait, one last thing. Who else should I bring on? Do you have anyone else that I should bring on? That's my final question. Name like 2 or 3.
What are you? Is it only music people or?
No, literally anybody who does anything, just like interesting people.
Well, I feel like you should bring Leah on.
Leah's coming on. I called her last night. Yeah.
Okay, good.
That's one. Cool, check.
Hannah. You should ask Hannah Hall.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay.
She's has she taken photos of y'all before? I feel like she
a lot, yeah.
Yeah, she's taken photos for like the whole crew, and
yeah.
So she knows all the backstories. She knows all the tea.
Yeah, she does.
And who else? What about Trevor?
Yes, Trevor. I texted Trevor. Yes. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. Let's do those.
Yay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.